In this Multiversus video, we're going to talk about the best perks to use with Steven Universe in Multiversus. So from here, from the main menu of Multiversus, I'm going to select the collection. You can see I have a notification which reads, "You've got new perks to train." I'm going to close the notification and open up the collection. Here you will find your Multiversus characters. I'm going to select Steven Universe. You can see that I've been using Steven Universe and I'm currently on tier 11 or working towards level 11 in the train perks menu here. There are a few perks left to unlock, which are Absorb and Go, Ice Beat You, and Up in a Sleigh. From this menu here, I'm going to select train perks, but before we do that, I'm just going to walk you through what's available here in this menu. You can see that you can equip 3 lower level perks and 1 signature perk. Your signature perk is like that perk that is only available for this character. Your lower level perks I'll walk you through right now. So let's select train perks. So here we are in the train perks menu. Let's give you a run through of what's available here. We have an offense, defense, and utility section. And then you can categorize all these perks together in an all menu. If we go back to the offense here, you will see Steven Universe's known perks, unknown perks from other characters. These are perks you've unlocked while using other characters in Multiversus, and then you have all other perks. Now the all other perks and the unlocked perks from other characters you can make available for Steven Universe by selecting that perk, and then you can train this perk with using your gold currency. You can see that this is going to cost me 100 gold, and I currently have 11,752 gold available, so I could train Armor Crush for Steven Universe. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm walking you through that so you know that we're going to select from all the perks available currently in Multiversus, and you will know how to follow along if you're following this build here. Don't forget to let me know what perks you're using with your build when you're using Steven Universe. Now, from this menu, let's select the best perks to use with Steven Universe in Multiversus. So Steven Universe is an expert level character in Multiversus, and it requires a bit of thinking power in order to use his moveset. He has a tether along with his shields that you can bounce enemies off. When you bounce enemies off this shield, if you're using specific perks, this can grant you extra damage towards your enemy. One of those perks is in this menu right here, and that perk is Collateral Damage. Your team deals 1 additional damage when knocked back enemies collide with a wall or a floor. Now your shield is classed as a wall and can also be classed as a floor. Now you can plant shields in various positions. You can plant them on a wall position, for example, so you can plant it as a wall, or you can plant it as a floor in the air. So this is one of the best perks to use with Steven Universe, as you'll be getting that 1 additional damage right here. Probably not the best perk to use, but it's definitely one that you can use. Now, it's valid to mention that Steven's known perks are the ones that you are most likely going to have unlocked as a lower level Steven Universe, or when you're getting started with Steven Universe. The other perks here are what you might have if you're using your other characters, so keep that in mind that this perk is going to be available for you, and if you're a lower level, I would definitely select this perk here, as it's going to be helpful when you're knocking back enemies into your shields. Now Steven Universe has some melee attacks that you can use in the air to knock players upwards, and these melee attacks can be very effective in the right situation. Although the knockback is not as powerful as his other moves, it can definitely be used to knock out an opponent, which is the reason why for a runner-up, I would say Up in a Sleigh would be one of the best perks to use with Steven Universe in the offense section. For a similar reason, you could use the percussive punch power as you're knocking back players horizontally using your projectile. There is a projectile that Steven Universe uses, and it has a knockback to it. This is most likely one of those ones that you're going to be using quite often if you're a special move user. So if you are used to using a lot of special moves, I would say percussive punch power would be one for you, as that horizontal special move with Steven Universe is going to shoot enemies horizontally across the screen, which is the reason why percussive punch power would be one of the best to use in this section. As I said, this is definitely the best to use collateral damage at the moment in Multiversus, as you are getting that 1 additional damage when you're bouncing people off that wall, so you're giving an extra usage to the wall, to the shield that you're creating with Steven Universe. And if you're using that projectile, of course, there are a few more that you can select. For example, Make It Rain Dog, or maybe Deadshot, to give your boost to your projectiles. Now that we've covered the offense section, let's get into defense and give a run through as to what's available here for Steven Universe, or the best perks to use with Steven Universe. Now, Steven Universe is a support type character in Multiversus. This means that your moveset is built towards supporting your ally and protecting your ally, or creating a situation which is favourable for the team in a 2-on-2 situation, or maybe even in a 1-on-1 situation. You're creating the scenario and you're trying to force the other player into your movements and into your path, so you can get those knockbacks and cause some damage to your opponents. This is the reason why using Toontastic Elasticity is going to be very helpful to you in this situation. Steven Universe's build is to bounce other players around, and if you have control of your bounce, this could definitely be helpful to you. So Toon Elasticity is definitely one of the best perks to use, as you won't be bounced around as much on the field, on the platform, in Multiversus. So Toon Elasticity, definitely one of the best perks to use in this section here. Now you also have the Slippery Customer, which is available. Your team receives 10% longer dodge invulnerability window. This means that when you dodge, those white lines outside that indicate that you are still dodging will be slightly longer. So you'll be able to dodge for a longer period of time when you press in that dodge button, which can be extremely helpful when you're using Steven Universe's build if you're thinking about your next move or you're about to make your next strategic move. Another one that you can use is Kryptonian Skin. As I said in recent perk videos, Kryptonian Skin can be extremely helpful to those of you that are just getting started with your builds in Multiversus, as it's one that is passive. You don't have to press a button in order to activate this perk here. I'm going to train this straight away to show you how to train a perk as well. Here we go. And I've just trained that perk. It's now available for Steven Universe, and you will see that in Steven's known perks. Now that we've covered the defense section, I'm going to move over to utility. But before we select the perk in utility, I'd like to tell you guys to let me know what you're using with your Steven Universe build. What are the perks that you are selecting? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd like to hear what you're doing with your builds so we can continue to discuss this in the comment section right here on YouTube. Now that we've covered defense and offense for the best perks to use with Steven Universe, let's get into the utility, as this is going to be extremely helpful for your Steven Universe builds. Now, as I said about Steven Universe, he's a support type character. There's not a lot of movement with him in terms of being able to take advantage of his moveset, although there is a move that changes depending on if you've already used it and you have a lower cooldown. With this, you will be able to use a flying kick. Let's walk you through the moveset to show you what I mean. If we go to the moveset here, there is a side special right here that when you use it, it will grant you brief armor. On cooldown, Steven will do a forward dash kick. So when you've used the shield in the air or shield on the ground, you will then be using your forward dash kick because you've already used your shield. It's also valid to mention that Steven can only use one of these shields at a time. So of course, when you're on cooldown, you're then having to do another move. That flying dash kick has a knockback horizontally and can also be used for movement on the platform. If you're up in the air and you use this dash kick, you can push down slightly to get down to the platform. Although it's not as effective as other players in Multiversus, for example Araya Stark, it can still be used for that same purpose. And for that reason, that is the reason why when we go back into the utility section, I'm going to select the cooldown Coffeezilla. Now Coffeezilla, your team receives 10% reduced ability cooldown duration. If you want to be using more shields, then definitely 100% this is going to be one of the best perks for you to use with Steven Universe. I'm going to train this perk now, and I'm going to put that right there. But as I said, Steven Universe's mobility in the air, Steven seems to be a slightly heavier character, so being able to get up into the air is definitely going to help your cause. Or you can use your shields to use as a platform to jump on top of your shields and stay up in the air, for example. That is the reason why triple jump is also going to be one of the best perks to use with Steven Universe. You could also use leg day champ, or you could use Tasmanian trigonometry to decide your knockback influence. So let's say, for example, you've been knocked back and you want more influence, you want to be able to move back down, you want to be able to influence the direction of which you're traveling when you've been knocked back. Tasmanian trigonometry is definitely going to help you with your knockback influence in this section here. At the moment, I'm going to leave triple jump and Coffeezilla. Now that we've covered that, let's go into the signature perk as to what I would select as the best perk to use with Steven Universe in Multiversus. So you can see we have two perks. We have Green Thumb. Watermelon Steven grows larger and deals more damage the longer he's alive. Now if you press your special button and down, that will create a Watermelon Warrior. Let's see exactly what it's called so I don't get that wrong. So let's go into the menu here. You can see that it's called called Watermelon Steven. When you create Watermelon Steven, there are two things that happen in this scenario. When you create him, to begin with, you will have a small area where you are healing your damage points and lowering the amount of damage points you have taken. Your allies can also be healed with this. Once the healing arena or the healing space is finished, your Watermelon Warrior will then spawn. This Watermelon Warrior can be tethered, and there is a tether attack, your neutral special move, where you are able to create a tether line, and if your enemies are in that tether line, you will be able to attack them. And this will also have a knockback as well as a status debuff called Rose's Gaze. It's extremely helpful, and that is another reason why CoffeeZilla is also one of the best perks to use in the utility section. Back into the signature perks now. With that in mind, Green Thumb is giving your Watermelon Steven a larger growth the longer he stays alive. So the longer he's alive on the arena, he will grow bigger. There is also the Bounce Bubble. Enemies have their hit stun extended and velocity increased after being knocked into Steven's wall or platform shields. Now, if you're knocking back with that horizontal special move, or you're knocking back with that projectile special move into one of your shields, that will create this scenario where the hit stun of that enemy will be extended. A hit stun is a sort of debuff phase that when you're normally attacking a player, there is a slight stun period where they're not able to move or defend themselves, and that is what a hit stun is. So having this extended can be extremely helpful, and not only that, the velocity, as I've mentioned with Taz Trigonometry, is when you're being knocked back and the amount of speed or force you're being knocked back with, and that's what the velocity is. It's the speed and force of a movement. So if your enemy is moving back fast, it's most likely going to knock them out. You're going to have a higher likelihood of knocking out that enemy, which is the reason why Bounce Bubble is definitely, in my opinion, the best perk to use with Steven Universe in this section here. Although Watermelon Steven can be great on the arena, he can be knocked out. Although he can be tethered to, he can still be tethered to when he's not as big. But when you're spawning Watermelon Steven, he can be knocked out of the arena before he has a chance to get in those first few hits. Although there is some scenarios where he can make his way back to the arena, this can also be a hindrance if he's being knocked out early or just in an unfavourable situation. So having that Bounce Bubble is definitely going to be one of the best perks to use with Steven Universe in Multiverses. Now that we've covered the best perks to use with Steven Universe in Multiverses, let's get into a match and let's show you how this is done. Let's go. So here we go, we're about to jump in. Gonna press play, gonna do teams.
Choose your character.
You can see I'm using the Steven Universe announce pack. Gotta select Steven. We have our perks ready.
Can't wait to see the rest of the team.
Let's get them. So we've got Superman on the team.
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Let's get him. Right, if I do a tether. Oh, didn't do it to the teammate. Never mind. Watch out for this Finn.
Blammo, you're done.
Watch this. Coming at you. Ready to fly?
Oh, I thought I was trying to do a tether there, knock it off my own shield. In the back? That's right.
Taking it to the sky.
Oh, what happened to LeBron then? Trying to get LeBron out there.
Almost got him. I have an anchor.
He missed it. He was dodging that.
Really rattled my brain cage, which I mean my skull.
Sir. So a little bit of gravity manipulation there, although it was upwards because it's a special move. So you can use your specials to have a bit of gravity manipulation. Oops, hold on.
Back again.
They shouldn't have followed me to the end. Cookie.
You did such a good job. Better look next time.
Let's see if they rematch that one. It was a quick KO that was there. There we go. Using your mind and using your thinking to outsmart the enemies. I baited them into jumping after me and they shouldn't have done that. So there we have it. That is Steven Universe, the best perks to use with Steven Universe, and add that support to your team, and of course cause some damage while we're at it. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what perks you're using with your build with Steven Universe. Are you using different perks? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget, there's more where this came from. You should see some more Multiverse content on screen right now. You can click on one of those. I'll see you in the next video right here after you've clicked on one of those, and a Multiversus playlist that you should see. See you in the next one, and remember, you are awesome. Thank you for watching.